What's going on, everybody, and welcome to GNR Central. And today I want to talk about an article I came across from 1990. So when people think of Axl Rose's home or condo, they usually think first of the home that they saw in the Estranged video where Axl still lives to this day in Malibu in the Hollywood Hills. But then all people also think about the condo he used to live in where he was accused of assaulting his neighbor with a wine bottle. That neighbor was sort of inspired the song Right Next Door to Hell. So after Axl left that condo that MTV actually gave away in a contest, he ended up moving for the Hollywood Hills, and this was when he was still with his first wife, Erin Everly. So according to the article, heavy metal rocker Axl Rose due to be arraigned Thursday for allegedly clubbing a neighbor in his condo building with an empty wine bottle, has purchased a house in the Hollywood Hills and is remodeling it, sources say. Rose and his wife, Erin, purchased a two-bedroom, 2,000-square-foot house on a private 1 1/3 acre knoll in Beachwood Canyon for about $800,000, public records show. So the lead singer of the band, Guns N' Roses, Axl, was arrested in October after an argument over loud music he'd been playing on his 12th floor condo off the Sunset Strip, a sheriff's spokesperson says. So apparently Axl's new neighbors were worried about the noise. One of his neighbors wrote to the Times, the LA Times, "We are hoping that Mr. Rose won't blast us out of our bedrooms at night. The noise factor from his house would be the main concern. It is down a narrow road and it sits on a promontory where sounds from it echoes throughout the canyon." So the Roses bought the home, which also has a pool and city and Griffith Park views, from Viktor Kamenoff, who had gutted and renovated the 50s era's house in 1988 after buying the property a year earlier for about $330,000, sources say. Kamenoff gave the house what sources described as an out-of-Africa, earthy, organic feeling with a sisal on the floor. So Rose has been replacing the sisal with hardwood, and he has been remodeling the kitchen, sources said last week. However, a few days before his arrest, Rose apparently suffered a bad case of buyer's remorse. The November 19th issue of People magazine quoted him as saying, "This house doesn't mean anything to me. This is not what I wanted. I didn't work forever to have this lonely house on the hill that I live in because I'm a rich rock star." Then he broke all of the windows, shoved a $38,000 piano through the side of the house, and destroyed a fireplace, according to the article. The fireplace, etched out of granite and placed against a 30-foot glass wall, was estimated to have cost Kamenoff about $30,000. The house has been Kamenoff's personal residence, but he was also the listing agent on the sale to the Roses through the Prudential California Realty's new Sunset Strip office. Neither he nor the selling agent, Arlene Ruby of the firm's Beverly Hills office, were available for comment. So the house has changed hands a few times, so Axl didn't stay very long in the house. By 1992, he had sold it for about $640,000. So it was once again listed on the market back in 2009. And there was an article that was published on Berg Properties that said house in Los Angeles, Hollywood Hills area that once owned by Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose is now in the market for $1.25 million. So built in 1950, the house has 2 baths, technically 1.75 baths, tall windows throughout, a light, an airy kitchen with an eating area and a skylight, a ceramic tile floor, and a large living room with a fireplace and hardwood floors, according to public records and listing information. Outdoor features on the very secluded 1.35-acre parcel included a lagoon pool, a grassy pad, and an exotic palm grove, according to public records and listing information. We in particular chuckled at the fact that the house is described as being a Hockney-esque because both we wrote about artist David Hockney's actual LA area real estate back in 2008, and we actually once met the master himself back in 2007 at an art gallery in LA. We're not sure that this house is worthy of an adjective as lofty as Hockney-esque, but we do see the listing agent was trying to get at. As for Rose, he owned the house until selling it in 1992 for $640,000, according to public records. So Axl would end up selling the property to a guy named Mark Mazzetti, who ended up living there for about 17 years. So if you guys do look up the property on Google Maps, it is pretty difficult to actually see it on Street View. You can't, in fact, see it on Street View. It's kind of hard to tell the topography here, but literally where the pinpoint is, it's at the very top of a hill. So if you guys go to the street views on the side streets, you can't even see. You can just see maybe a little fraction of the house, but you can see how secluded it is from the rest of the homes in the area. So what exactly is Beachwood Canyon and whereabouts is it? So it's a community in the Hollywood Hills. It's in the northern portion of Hollywood in Los Angeles, and the upper portion of the canyon is in the Hollywood Land community that was first advertised in the 1920s by the original view of what is now known as the Hollywood sign. So the canyon has its own market, cafe, florist, and stables. So it's home to about 22,000 residents, and Beachwood Canyon was first developed in the 1920s by a syndicate of composed West Hollywood founder General M.H. Sherman. So Los Angeles publisher Harry Chandler and real estate mogul Sidney Woodruff. So the architects and landscapers who developed the enclave drew inspiration from the southern regions of France, Italy, and Spain, as well as Germany. And also, film directors have favored the canyon over the years. So movies such as the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which was filmed in 1956, was filmed there with terrorized masses running down Belden Drive. So there's a lot of notable residents who currently live there and who used to live there, including Keanu Reeves, Jack Black, Minnie Driver, and Kevin Bacon. The list goes on and on. So these are the average rental rates if you guys are looking in the area. So studio apartment runs you about almost $1,200 US. One bedroom is about $1,428, two bedrooms $1,783, and four bedrooms almost $3,000 a month. So if you look at some of the demographics according to some of the realtors' websites, it's not a super rich area. I mean, it's mostly people who are upper middle class. The median income is almost $100,000. It's mostly a white neighborhood with about 80% people being white, and then there's other minorities that make up the other 20% or so. So that does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed that. I think it's probably safe to say that Axl was not too happy about how much he ended up selling the house for, because he took a pretty big loss on it. And then he ended up buying a much more expensive house up by Malibu.